Oh, look, a chance to catch up with our old friend Brad Van Liew. Brad, how are you, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Hey, what is this back here? It looks like a regular Roro, but it's a little different colors and sort of doesn't have a big Toyota or Hyundai on the side. What is that?
Well, here in Charleston, we're supposed to shoot you and not tell you when you ask that question. But let's just say there's lots of fancy beige-colored toys that come in and out of the Port of Charleston in those things.
Interesting. Military Roro. I haven't seen one of those before.
Yeah, you can always tell when the little Coast Guard guy is out in front doing the security zone.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So, Brad, what are you doing today? I know you've got a boat sitting out there somewhere in the Atlantic, a new boat, but what are you doing here?
A new to us boat, yeah. The Open 60 is, I just talked to the boys this morning, and they're about 1,800 miles out on their 7,000-mile horseshoe of the Northern Atlantic.
What are they calling the boat now? What are you guys calling her?
Right now, it's always been registered as Les Penguins.
Les Penguins. Lupanga.
Catherine Chabot, the woman it was originally built for, it was branded Whirlpool, but she's always been in love with penguins, and she named it Les Penguins, and it's been Les Penguins ever since.
That's what you're calling it. All right.
Well, so far, we'd like to be calling it publicly something much different. But...
We hear that. We hear that. So they're about a week out then? Yeah,
something like that. They're going to get parked up in a ridge probably day after tomorrow. So I'm talking to them, trying to route them through the light stuff, and then a lot of it depends on what the fronts are doing coming off the U.S. You know, if they're in phase with that, then as the westerlies come with the front, they can cruise north, and then when the northerlies come, they can work their way to the west.
So we're out. So that's their ETA, and we'll keep an eye on that. But we're out on this lovely tender.
This is the Sandbox.
The Sandbox.
And if you might notice, it's got Tommy Hilfiger striped coloring. This was the photo boat for the Tommy Hilfiger project that then became my little river runner for the kids. And since I don't have a rib or a proper support boat, we've sort of resurrected the Sandbox. She's sunk a few times.
Well, she looks pretty good. It's an aquasport.
It is an aquasport, 22-foot aquasport.
All right, and we're going to go do soundings and try and figure out where to put your big boat, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the issue. We're sort of trying to put a round peg in a square hole as far as trying to get an Open 60 to have a home in Charleston.
They draw 13 feet?
15 feet.
15 feet.
Yeah, it draws 15 feet, and there's really very few places in Charleston where you can access 15-foot slips. There are a few 15-foot slips, but there's humps on the way to get to them, so... thanks for coming and helping, but we're going to go use this fancy new little depth gauge I installed in the boat, and there's my $80 depth gauge. And as you can see, it says 6 feet now, so hopefully it'll say 16 in a little bit somewhere where we can tie a boat up.
All right, and how is the sponsor hunt coming? Any closer to having this boat repainted?
God, it's so hard to ever know. Sponsorship hunts are always scary until the day that it happens, and then bam, it's over. So we do have some meetings. We've got some great help in New York with an agency and out in LA as well. And there's some TV deals that are sort of being discussed with the Velux folks overall. And yes, we've got some meetings. It's scary, we're trying to keep the wheels on sort of this American effort while we find the big corporate branding. But at this point, it's still a grassrootsy kind of thing. We're just trying to keep the wheels on it and sort of keep this sort of American dream and the Velux alive while we keep plugging away.
All right. Well, we'll come back to you about that, and let's go do some sounding.
Sounds cool. Thanks for coming.
No worries.
13.
Yeah. Big hump here. 14, 13. Okay. We're just seeing not only for Brad's boat, but for the actual Velux fleet. Now we're good again. Up
4
to
years.
16s. 4 years.
Yeah, it stopped in Norfolk. That's cool.
That doesn't count.
14 and a half.
So we're humped up here too.
13s. I think at high tide we could get in here, but it doesn't do very well for hospitality and sail testing and all that.
It doesn't, does it? So another option is the Maritime Center across the way where the Spirit of South Carolina lives.
The thing works at most speeds. I didn't check it wide open, but
it went off for a second. But
did it?
Now we're over at the southwest side here of the harbor. The Maritime Center, you can see the Spirit of South Carolina and our depths.
Oh, man. What was that? 22.
It was probably a log.
Yeah, it's a dolphin swimming under the boat.
The idea would be to put a raft out here, a barge or whatever.
Hoping to do some media maybe next door to the Spirit, raft up. when they arrive, maybe put the boats tied up to the Spirit.
Look pretty cool.
Yeah, wouldn't that be?
Still hovering around 50 right now.
So this is no issue. No, wait, there's 23.
23.
24.
32s.
Yeah, we're good here.
What's up, kids?
Those 25s.
So, Brad, I think between these two places, the Cooper River Marina, mission accomplished?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. We've got two places we can throw our boat, so that's a good sign. And now we just got to figure out where to put the fleet. But
well, we got a little bit of time to figure that one out.
yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of pieces to that puzzle. But yeah, no, I feel really good about it. These two places will work, you know. And it's funny how little. Until you bring a 15-footer, 15-foot draft boat into town, how little we really know about how much water there is everywhere. I mean, that first little place we pulled into, what a trip. I mean, you guys thought I was crazy for even stopping there. My gosh, it's 30 feet all the way.
So you'll bring the boat in, you put it on, you'll bring it to a dock just to get everything off of it, and then where do you take it to do your refit?
Yeah, we got to get it to a dock for about a week to sort of deconstruct everything and get everything ready to take apart. Because we're going to take the rig out of the boat, obviously, and the boat off the keel. And that's pretty difficult in this boat because the keel is actually canted aft. So we got to lift it out in a tricky way because it's not a straight fin. And then we're going to put it in a building up in the old naval base in North Charleston, sort of a private location to be able to do everything indoors. We're going to modify the rig a little bit. We got some carbon work we need to do. We're completely redoing the deck layout. Doing things we need to do to make the boat Brad friendly.
All right. Well, we will certainly be following along. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
A little bit of serendipity here as we were running around the harbor looking for depths. We poked into the Seabreeze Marina, which is a dry stack storage spot for motorboats. Stacks up in here. And we're looking at the depth gauge, and it was pretty amazing because right out of the channel, we had 30-foot depths all the way in. So that means in and out at any tide, and easily room on 200-foot plus piers here, easily room for 4 or 5 open 60s. I mean, just a big surprise. And these guys have, like 100 boats in storage here, but this very well could house the Velux fleet. And as an added bonus, the 100,000 plus cars that use this bridge every day could, just looking at the floating billboards that these boats are, these cars would be seeing all of them, and it would be a nice thing exposure-wise. It's not quite as nice as the Maritime Center for being right there for downtown, because you gotta kind of go a little ways to get to it, but it's not really an obstacle, something that can be worked out. So, who knows? This very well could be the Velux 5 Oceans hosting location. We'll let you know what we know.